Hey everybody, this is Cyrus Hojati. So I'm responding to a recent article by the Nevada Independent, which of course is not necessarily a news agency I trust, but they do have some statistics and data that is worth looking at. Because the Nevada Independent is run by the guy John Ralston, and he's totally pro-establishment, totally pro-part of the problem. Now, in addition to the fact that the last election result was quite disappointing for a lot of people, yet surprising, believe it or not. In addition to the fact that there was voter fraud, mainly due to the fact that there were non-citizens voting, there could have been dead people voting, people who voted in areas that they're not supposed to vote because they don't live in that area. And by the way, I can show you proof that this is true. I can show you voter registration cards where names are spelled incorrectly and the Secretary of State doesn't look. And by the way, she was the only Republican that won, surprisingly. How could that be? This is very shocking. But anyway, there was a lot of things that happened. People were bussed from other states, mainly from California. But how did they do all this? Well, remember, there was a lot of money involved. There was so much money in PACs, in donors, and a lot of different things that help manipulate the outcome so much. They spend so much money on ads, on canvassers, on signs and everything. Very huge, large, powerful signs. And after all of that, believe it or not, this is how we end up with this result. So, what do we have to do? Well, believe it or not, there are ways, there are methods that we can do to really reverse this, because it's not as difficult, believe it or not. And I just wanted to show you something, because there's been a lot of proof that there have been houses listed where you had multiple number of people who registered. So let's just take a look at the article. So the super PACs were given in the 1940s. Now, many people argue that Californians are moving here to Nevada, and it's manipulating elections, as well as other states, Oregon, Arizona, Texas, and so forth. But I don't believe that's true, because if it was true, real liberals would want to stay in the most liberal state, perhaps, in the country. But that's not what's really exactly happening. Now, it's true that people are being bussed in from California, no question about that. And by the way, there should be a lawsuit about voter registration fraud. And it's true that many of these NGOs and activist groups and everybody else talk about, oh, Trump is against your people, he's a white nationalist, whatever, the Culinary Union, SEIU, registering people to vote, and God knows if they check their citizenship. What you have to understand is what is all the money behind this. Now, let's start off with the basics. Emily's List. Now, if you don't know who Emily's List is, it's a very dangerous PAC. It is a part of this feminist, disgusting PAC that is designed to pump women into office. And as history has shown, women have not done a pretty good job in running things, depending on how you look at it, when it comes to the government. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to pump in feminists to use identity politics so that corporations and special interest groups get the laws that they need to destroy the family and so forth. Emily's List is funded by Soros, and let's take a look at its track record. Emily's List has funded Shelley Berkeley, it has funded Jackie Rosen, it has funded Dina Titus, and has funded Cortez Masto. And I can assure you this is largely responsible of the reason why we had so many women pumped into office. Oh, well, we need women representation, equality, all this nonsense load of crap. And then you have billionaire Tom Steyer, which I have seen him in person with John Ralston. I've confronted him about the state of California. He pumped in lots and lots of money. So this guy, which he should admit that California is a failed run state, believe it or not, he's pumping a lot of money into politicians to make the rest of the country more like California. And then, and believe it or not, a lot of these are outside money. We need to ban at least outside money, out-of-state money coming in to our politicians. Then you have Every Town for Gun Safety, So you can see here these PACs grow because Trump's in office. He's more likely to protect the Second Amendment. And of course, given the Route 91 disaster, which of course a lot of us know was manufactured. And you see right here, Kelvin Atkinson, he gets a lot of money, who just resigned. Jason Frierson. By the way, all these people know me very, very well because I go and testify every other day. They're getting sick and tired of me. But again, now you can see MGM Resorts, Station Casinos, Nevada Realtors, all these large multinational corporations. And you just go down the line. Now, here's the real shocker. Democrats receive 1.2 million. Republicans only 215,000. Now, you wonder why it explains election results today. Because Republicans didn't have a lot of money in ads, in campaigning, in rallies, in canvassing, a lot of different things. They had a lot of money for canvassers. And I can assure you, a lot of those canvassers don't even live in Nevada, and they're not even citizens of the United States. Okay? This is very, very hypocritical when you think about it. For decades, Democrats, including today, many like Bernie Sanders talk about, oh, Republicans are the party of the billionaires and the wealthy elites. Well, according to this is not really true. Because a lot of wealthy corporations, elites, and what Democrats are well known of, non-governmental organizations, donate lots and lots of money to the Democrats. And they use identity politics and welfare programs to pump their agenda. Now, as you can see right here, all these PACs money that's going down. Let's go down the list. So you can see here, 1.2 million near by Democrats and a mere with Republicans. And nearly all of the legislators got PAC money. Now, some very little, some did. You can see a large number of money came from Tom Steyer, Emily's List, all these organizations, believe it or not. Now, the others, that doesn't necessarily mean small donors. It could mean a lot of other different corporations, such as MGM Resorts, mining, real estate development, and so forth. Now you can see here, look who got the most money. Emily's List, of course, they pump women. And also it's important to keep in mind that they pump people like Melanie Schiebling. By the way, I've called her 2 times. She answered and didn't want to talk to me. What does this tell you? And I'll list the phone number of her on the comments section so you can actually call her and confront her. Tom Steyer, same here. Melanie, Jason Frierson, really Democrats, believe it or not. And by the way, notice how they pump a lot of money to close races. Races that they have won by very small margins because they know that it can make a difference. By the way, Melanie is my senator, and this guy, Steve Yeager, is, believe it or not, my assembly person, sad to say. Now, they do win by sizable margins percentage-wise, but they lose sometimes by a small number of votes because they only win by like 1,000 or so votes because all it takes is a little bit of activism on our side to really, really make a difference. Now, you can see right here, once you go down the list, and this isn't a lot of money, believe me. I invest in the stock market, and I don't mean to brag, but my net worth exceeds all of this right here. This isn't a lot of money, believe it or not. And you can see right here, mining industry, super PACs, Home Builders Association. And by the way, Steve Yeager, it just reported, and I will give him a call. And you can find their phone number online. I will post it, that he wants to decriminalize, just like what they're doing in California, many actions from felonies to misdemeanors. And why do you think they're doing this? Is it because of social justice? Could be. But I believe they're doing this is because they want to protect illegal aliens. Folks, just because they don't have a bill about illegal aliens does not mean that it's not even related to this issue, because immigration is an issue that really, really impacts everything. Immigration is what largely gave these suckers the margins of victory. So you have to keep in mind there's a lot of voter manipulation, there's a lot of fraud, but this is just really the hypocrisy of all this. They should be going after the average person, the middle class, but they're not. They don't care about you, and you need to confront them. The people of this state have to rise back. I don't believe that there's going to be really another election.